And of course, the shining star of tonight's ensemble. Let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Larry Farver. Larry has over 20 years of experience in human resources, acting, film, radio, TV, live events, parade float design, production, casting, and taxidermying. He's also a board member of the West Side Association. Larry, Friends of the Wilton Manors Library Book Fair returns July 11th. Tell me, tell us, tell your friends what's happening out.
Absolutely, Brian and Glenn. Book lovers are invited to the Friends of the Wilton Manors Library Book Fair on Saturday, July 11th from 8 to 2 p.m. at Hagen Park Community Center. With free parking available, browse thousands of gently used books for all ages, including fiction, nonfiction, children's titles, and hidden literary gems. Every purchase helps support the independent Wilton Manors Public Library, making it easy to discover your next favorite read while giving back to the community. Admission is free, and everyone is welcome. Learn more at friendsofthewiltonmanorslibrary.org. Well, as I've said in prior shows and, publicizing some of the events that the library does, it's funded by the city. So we're not part of the county system, which has its benefits because I think there's less censorship. And, certainly that's
For now, until the hammer comes down from Tallahassee.
Well, let's hope. But having attended, I'm also a big attendee at the flea market during the winter season. So they often have the book fair with that. But they have a lot of gently used books. Some of them look brand new.
Every time you say gently used, I think that should be somebody's Grindr profile. How you doing? Gently used.
Yes.
What's going on? Gently used.
Well,
it's such a versatile, no pun intended, it's a very versatile descriptor.
Well, there might even be some books on that, Brian. So
okay,
they have a large assortment of LGBTQ plus titles.
Okay.
I think I've seen also CDs and DVDs and all.
So they don't fall under the state then, as far as
that's my understanding.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we can't be political on the show, but certainly when you
we can be as political as we want to be. We're here. We're queer.
Okay.
Get used to it.
But we encourage people to vote this fall. But it's important to preserve and make sure that our local leaders keep that library going, because I think we have a gem. With it being more independent than being part of the county or under the DeSantis administration.
And aren't some of the banned books that we had been talking about, for the last, however, it feels like a millennia that we've been talking about it, but are some of the banned books here in Florida going to be making a slightly used appearance at the book fair itself, or is that
I don't know.
You're not allowed to talk about?
No, it's I have gone in the library though, and they've had previous displays in the center of the library, and I think one of the titles I might have mentioned off air, which blew my mind because it was one of my favorite books as a kid in second grade, was Charlotte's Web.
Really?
Which totally blew my mind.
Well, right now in Florida, that's a completely inappropriate book, and students should not be reading it. I'm being sarcastic. But that's what our lawmakers believe. And, in their infinite wisdom, we have to keep up the tradition of these book fairs. And I'm glad that it doesn't have as much oversight from Tallahassee, because kids should be able to read Charlotte's Web. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Friends of Wilton Manors Library Book Fair on July 11th. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.